Okay, this video will outline how to attach the Vertec 1.75-inch cone to the Vertec 1.75-inch SMR module. First step is going to be to install the cone in the vise. One thing you want to watch out for here is that we're gripping the cone between the collar here and the rod adapter here. That ensures that we're grabbing the cone in the back shell. So first thing we'll need to do is use a pipe wrench, this tool here, to remove the rod adapter. Once the rod adapter is removed, we can remove the cone from the vise. Now we'll install the SMR module in the vise. Here we want to grip the cone between the highest SMR ring and the lowest portion of the back shell. Next step will be to use these custom machine vise grips to remove the tail housing. We also want to use a section of LEMO cable, like this one, or you can even just use your generic LEMO cone cable. We'll use this to keep the LEMO cable from rotating inside the housing. Note that I'm using this hand to keep the LEMO cable from rotating. Once the tail housing is free, you can remove the LEMO cable, remove the tail housing, use a hand underneath to catch the two split rings that will fall. Set these aside for reassembly. Next step will be to remove the back shell from the SMR insert. While we're removing this back shell, we want to make sure that this LEMO insert does not rotate. So let's hold on to that. Now we can remove the back shell. Okay, so the next step will be to remove the insert from the vise and reinstall the cone. Again, we're going to grip the cone between the collar and the end of the back shell. Next, we'll install the SMR insert onto the back of the cone. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the insert is pulled back a little bit so that the LEMO connector is not jammed into the tail housing. Then, as we rotate the SMR module onto the cone, we're going to use a right hand to grip the insert and keep that from rotating. So we want it to rotate with the SMR module. Next, we can use our pipe wrench to tighten the SMR module. Next step will be to insert the module until it compresses into the LEMO connector. Next, we're going to attach the computer and make sure that we are able to communicate with both the insert as well as the cone. Now we'll open CPT Sound. So this screen will indicate that we've found the SMR module, the data pack, as well as the seismic cone. At this point, we can complete assembling the SMR module. So we'll disconnect the LEMO cable, and we will install the back shell. So we want to be very careful when we're installing this back shell. We don't want to hit or bend any of these pins on the LEMO connector. We also want to be careful with the components on the top of the circuit board here. Next, we'll slide the cone forward in the vise, so we're grabbing it right here. Now we'll grab the tail housing and a pair of split rings and reinstall them on the cone. One trick to doing this is to install the LEMO cable into the end of the tail housing, just to keep a little bit of pressure on the end of the tail housing. Next, we can use our vice grips to tighten the tail housing. And finally, we can reinstall our rod adapter. SMR assembly is complete.